Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new course on JavaScript. I hope you all learn something useful from here and apply that in your life ahead. All the best to everyone. So first of all, we have to know what is JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language. The computers as devices, they are dumb. They don't know what to do. We have to input information into them. We have to give them commands, and those commands are given in forms of programming languages, and JavaScript is one of very famous programming language. So whenever we say anything in our language, in any normal language like English, there are a set of rules. Like in English they are called grammar. So they are the rules by which we speak, we give commands in English. And in a programming language, those set of rules are called a syntax. So whenever we want to give any command to any in the form of language, we have to use a set of rules that is called syntax. So first of all, let us start by creating a folder and then open it in JavaScript by shift right click. Open it in VS Code I meant. So we are gonna start by making a file in VS Code named index.js. So first we gotta know what variables are. Variables are a container in which some sort of value is stored. The value can be of various forms which will study about in future. Now the name of variable. The name of variable can contain letters, numbers, underscore or dollar sign. Now it can contain all four of these, but it must not start by a number. It must start with letters, dollar sign or underscore. It must not start by a number. Also some JavaScript reserved words which cannot be used for the names of variables like break, case, catch, class, const, continue, debugger, default, for, if, function. These words cannot be used as the name of a variable. Also, JavaScript code is also case sensitive, which means if I write small HELLO, it is different from capital HELLO. If I name a variable small HELLO, it is different from the variable named capital HELLO. Now, if we want to initialize a variable, so initializing is basically giving a value to a variable. We can use three methods for it: where, let, or const. I will show you how they are used. We can just write let a. Now we are saying that there is a variable called a. We can also write where a. We can also write const a. But they all have some properties which needs to be understood before, so that we can use them properly. First of all, where. It is function scoped. We are going to talk about two types of scopes over here: function scoped and block scoped. So function scoped is, let's say I made two functions, function 1 and function 2. Now if I initialize a variable inside this function, the upper function, I cannot use it in this function. This is the meaning of function scoped. The scope of the variable I initialize is inside the function, is inside a single function. And block scope means like let's say I use if. Now inside the block means the parts inside a function. Like if this and the block is inside the parentheses. The if block is starts from this starts from here and ends here. So if I name any variable inside this, that is in the scope of this block. I hope you understand that. What is the difference between function and block? Now, where is a function scope variable? Where is function scoped? If I write where anywhere in this, if I write where a, let me remove this one. If I write where a over here, then I can access it outside of this block. That is the property of where. It is function scope. It can be accessed anywhere inside this function. If I run this, I didn't give a value to it, is equal to 10. If I run it, it will give us 10 because it is a function scope variable, so it does not matter which block inside a function I initialize the variable in. The second property of where is that it can be updated as well as redeclared. Now if I want, I can do a plus plus, and don't worry about the if loop, just stay focused on this part that I'm teaching you. We will come to the loops in a while, after some lectures. If I do a plus plus, it increases the value of a by 1, so that is updating the value of a. We can do it with where. If I run this, it will print out 11. Console.log prints out the value. It will print out 11. Now this was the updating part, but I can also redeclare this variable. Let's say where a is equal to 0. I can do this with where. It will print out 0, but it is not possible with the other two. I cannot redeclare in them. So the third property of where is initialize with undefined. If I don't give a value, if I remove these as well, then when I console.log it will print out undefined. But that's not all. If I write the console.log command before initializing it, let's say I put it here, it will still print out undefined. See, it printed out undefined. It does not matter if I write console.log before initializing the variable or after. It is already by default initialized to undefined if it is a where, but it is not in the case of let. Let's say I use let here, so if I use it with let, it is totally different case. When I use it with where, it was working, it was giving us undefined even if I use console.log before initializing the variable. But if I use it with let, it will give me an error. Reference error, cannot access a before initialization, because it is not initialized by default. While where is initialized with undefined by default, let is not initialized by default. Now that brings us to the second type, let. Let is block scoped, which means if I write let a, I initialize a inside the scope of is equal to 10. I wrote a, I initialize a inside the scope of this block. Then I can only access a inside this block. I cannot access a outside this single block. The second property is it can be updated but not be redeclared. We can still use the a++ command, but we cannot write let a is equal to something. It will give error. Now the third property is it is not initialized by default. I already taught you about that. where is initialized by default with undefined, but let is not initialized by default. Now we are on to our third one, that is const. Const is also block scoped, but the second property differs by it can neither be updated nor be declared. We cannot even use the a++ command in case of const. This will not do anything. If I run this, it will give error, type error, assignment to constant variable. We cannot do this in case of const. Neither can we declare it, obviously. And the third property is cannot be used without initialization. Initialization is giving it a value. If I remove this part, we cannot use it. Unlike let, or if we were using let, when we were using let, we could write let a, but it is not the case with const. If we write const a and not give it any value, it will give us an error. Now that was all about the variables. Thank you. Now this was all about variables. Hope you understood it all. It may be a bit messy in between my explanation, that is I am new to all of this. I have just learned JavaScript like a month before, so forgive me for any interruptions that I created, and I hope you learned something from this. Learning something is always better than learning nothing. You can ask any questions in the comments. I will definitely reply to them. Thank you for watching this video. We will meet in the next video with another topic, with the next topic of this course.